Bourbon, Broncos, and No BS. Fans, brews, and Broncos news. Good evening, Broncos Country. Welcome to another edition of Bourbon, Broncos No BS, where the Broncos just did a fantastic job on Monday Night Football in their first time wearing all blue uniforms. First time we've seen the blue end zones outside of a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It looked good. The Broncos they did their job. I'm not going to say they went out there and they looked amazing, but they did their job, and they came away with the solid 28-3 win over Cincinnati. And we have some fantastic numbers to break down for you, but we also have some things that the team needs to work on and clean up, because as much as we want to sit here and celebrate this win, guys, we have got to get back to work, because we have Philadelphia Eagles on the road against them this Sunday. But I got Spotty and Adam with me here today. Spotty, sir, how you doing, man?
Hey, good, man. I'm good. You know, I'm going to steal a thunder a little bit on this on the Victory Tuesday. So I found that people in the Denver metro area are a lot happier after a Broncos win. That goes back to the days when I was a teller and, you know, people would come in on Monday morning to do their deposits, and they were so much nicer to me when I miscounted their money. So I'm feeling good today. All the people I talked to are good. So I'm excited to talk about this game and, you know, talk about next week.
Yeah, I like it, man. Well, there's a lot to break down. Adam, buddy, what you got?
What's up, guys? Spotty, I was a teller too.
What? Hell yeah!
Small world.
Oh, teller club. Yeah. I mean, it felt like a workman-like victory, because it didn't feel like there were too many lows. Also, didn't feel like there were too many highs either. I know it's a little bit of a different kind of view, especially when you're inside of the stadium, like where I was yesterday. The vibe, it was good. It was a good vibe. People seemed like it was loud. Yeah. Lots of good enthusiasm. Even J.K. Dobbins pointed to that in his presser, is that the energy was there yesterday. So Denver showed out for Monday Night Football. And like you were saying, Spotty, the city just has a whole different vibe when the Broncos win a game, and everybody's just in a much better mood. You get a lot of, like, you see people out on the street, you see them with their, you know, their gear on. You're like, hey, a lot of that. So I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's the Denver Broncos. I mean, we're so tuned into the team, and it's funny to see the psychology behind it. You know, like if you did a study on Broncos fans and just Denver in general, you don't even have to identify if they're Broncos fans or not, and you talk to them after a win versus after a loss, I guarantee you'd see massive shift in the results. So look, we're diehards. That's what we do. Man, but we got some numbers to break down. We got some things to break down. And let's start with the really good stuff that we saw. Mostly, I mean, good stuff on the offense too, but from this defense, I mean, big picture, what you saw was initially the Bengals were able to go down and get in field goal range. But after that, they did not play a single down on our side of the field. So, guys, I mean, what are some of your takeaways from this defense? What'd you see? What'd you like? Or maybe some concerns that you might have seen, but in general, what'd you think?
I don't count first drives. I don't count first drives because they're so scripted in this NFL, right? Like they knew almost every play that they're going to play. So let's take out the first drive, and I'm gonna be a little positive and I'm gonna be a little negative about our defense. Okay, the positive is the Denver Broncos defense is elite. I mean, there's no other way to say that, right? Jamar Chase, even against other types of defenses, other teams, has done something, right? Like I even think that blowout loss to Minnesota, who has a really good defense, he still had 5-6 catches. Right. 50, 60 yards. In this game, he didn't have any, almost 31 yards for Ja'Marr Chase. So that's awesome. My negative is we have to do that against this team. Like the Bengals, Bengals, I'm sorry, unfortunately, for all those Bengal fans out there, you guys are probably in for a very rough 3 months until Joe Burrow comes back. Really, let's be honest, if Joe Burrow comes back this year, the Bengals are absolutely insane. So the Broncos did what they need to do, though there's some glaring things that we'll kind of touch on a little bit, but for considering what they need, they didn't allow the moment to get too big for them. They played what it was supposed to be. So good on them.
I hear Russell Wilson's available. Back, so.
Hey.
Adam, what do you think, buddy?
I think there's a guy on the defense. There's two people on the defense. One's been a little maligned, and one is nobody is talking about at all. And it's two guys in the secondary. Jaquan McMillan is quietly having a stellar season when everybody thought Jahdae Barron was going to just come in and take a spot. I mean, you were not hearing anything from slot receivers, and he is not even just delivering in the pass game. He is out there crunching dudes in the run game. He had a big hit last night. And a guy that's maybe being picked on a little bit and maybe unfairly is Riley Moss. Aside from maybe one very good catch to T. Higgins, his side of the field was locked down all last night. It was a very complete defensive performance. I thought if the defense got 4 sacks, that they were going to win that game. I think each one of the defensive linemen, maybe save for Allen, got a sack last night. So a very complete performance. I don't think you could ask too much more from your defense if you're a Denver fan right now.
No, totally agree. Look, Nick Bonito, 1.5 sacks, JFM 1 sack, Jonathan Cooper 0.5 sack. So only 3 total. I'll be honest. One thing I was expecting going into this game was seeing more around 5 or 6 sacks. I really thought just the way Browning played and the way that the Bengals offensive line has looked so far this year. I thought this would be a game that we're going to be able to get in the backfield and get a lot more sacks. So they were prepared with a lot of quick throws and get the ball out of the hand because they know that pressure's coming, right? So I think that shows a lot of respect for the Broncos defense and the pass rush. They know you do not have time to hold on to that ball. If you do, you're going down. So really good situation from what we saw from them there. I think we got no interceptions, and that's fine. But in general, like I said, it just goes back to this defense did everything you could have asked them to do. I think maybe some penalties, but what else could we have done? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The defense also did have I want to say how many false starts and how many procedural stuff. Obviously the crowd noise really helped the defense last night.
Yeah.
I mean, even in wins, you have to have takeaways, right? Even in wins, you're like, okay, it's really hard to play a perfect game in the NFL. Even with the way that the Chiefs have been dominant over the last couple of years, they have not been very dominant whatsoever, or at least perfect in every game. So the takeaways for the Broncos are going to be about penalties, and they're going to be about some of I would say a couple of missed coverages, but even that T. Higgins pass that you were talking about, it was back shoulder on a guy who's 6'5", 225.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's not a lot. Even like Riley, I'm not sure if there's a lot of corners that can stop that.
He was in position. If he's 3 inches taller, he makes the play. So that's about as good as you could ask for.
But
so let me phrase this question to you this way: the Riley Moss situation. I think he's getting picked on a lot because you have PS2 on the other side of the field. How do you think he would compare in any other team? Do you think he'd be getting this level of scrutiny if he was on just a team that just didn't have PS2?
No. Why don't you take this first body? Take that first body.
He might be top 15 in his position, and that might be a very bold statement, right? He might be, and I said this in the pregame. I might have brought it up a little bit during tailgate. But the thing about it is, and people always remember the dominant corner. Okay, I bring up Darrelle Revis because he's the most, the most recent, where everybody's like, no one threw to Darrelle Revis, and everyone attacked Antonio Cromartie. But they forget that there's a point that Antonio Cromartie was a guy who had, I believe, 13 or 14 sacks in interceptions in a season.
Right.
That's somebody who, if he was on any other team, yes, he was getting picked on, but he'd be the number one cornerback on that, right? So Riley, I bet you money that the Bengals would love Riley Moss to be their starting DB.
Hey, I know, right?
Yeah. And I think that's what the point, people need to remember, obviously you're going to see him a lot because they're throwing his direction a lot. But he's also human, right? And he's not PS2, but he's doing a pretty damn good job for what he's dealing with and how he's going out there and being pretty consistent about it too. Obviously the game he came back last year against the Bengals after being out for 4 weeks with a knee injury or whatever. That was a little rough, but since then he's bounced back. It's not like there's been continuing struggles since then. So look, in general, it's kind of tough to nitpick or try to pick out anything on the defense that really needs major improvement from what we saw. I mean, they stopped the run really nicely, held the whole Bengals team to 53 yards. RJ Harvey had more rush yards than the entire Bengals rushing, unit did. So, they're doing their damn job, and that's all you can ask.
I got one beef.
Go for it. There are things to talk about, but yeah, for the most part, go for it.
And it's glaring. Alex Singleton is
I knew it,
man. Alex Singleton is killing me, and it's two parts, right? Don't get me wrong, Alex. There's no one who's going to tell you that Alex Singleton is supposed to be a cover linebacker.
Right.
I don't think the Bengals had the ability to attack that area like some of the other teams have. So it was not talked about as much. And then when you talk about Riley going up against matchups, it's easy to talk about Riley. But, man, Alexson missing tackles.
That's concerning.
Missing coverages. Man, when we get teams that have the ability to go over the middle again, like the Colts and the Chargers did, we are in freaking trouble without Greenlaw.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, and a couple more weeks at least.
I was gonna make that same point, Spotty. That he's never been what I would say like a real fleet guy, but a guy who's always in position and makes the play in front of him. To see him bouncing off of guys or guys shedding him pretty easily is a little bit of a concern. I will say that, especially when you have Justin Sternad, and I will save my critique of Justin Sternad for another day because I'm sure people are tired of hearing it.
That's fair.
That's fair. He's a very average linebacker, and right now our linebackers are kind of average.
I would say so at best.
On right now, talking about inside linebackers.
Yeah, exactly, right? Jared's ears are burning wherever he is in the world right now. For everybody who's tuning in, thank you so much for watching Bourbon Broncos No BS. Right now, we're kind of doing the breakdown of last night's game against the Bengals. The Broncos win there 28-3, and we will be transitioning over to week 5 officially in about 15 minutes. So defense talk, look, lots of good points there. Offense, again, let's just start with Bo Nix. Look, this is a guy, and there's a stat I saw today that I read for you. People saying, Bo Nix needs to be really heavily scripted or this and that. He was 12 for 16 and 150 yards when the Bengals blitzed. That's a guy who can think on his feet. That's a guy who can make the right reads under pressure and know it and keep the football safe, right, for the vast majority of the time. So Bo Nix, I think, went out there and did really, really well. 2 big passes that were just dropped that, could have added to these numbers even more so. When the ball hits the wide receiver's hands, that is 100% on the wide receiver. So anyway, from the Bo Nix side of things and the offense side of things, guys, what were some of your takeaways? What did you think?
I'm probably going to be a little harsh on this one, and I am going to throw out the R word, and I'm going to say a little bit of a regress just with the decision making. I'm going to talk specifically with the pick in the end zone, and I know that it didn't hurt, I know it didn't. But it's a very derpy play that is like you don't need to make that play. You don't need to make that decision. You're forcing it into a spot where there is a zero-sum chance of anything good coming out of that. So I don't, and even from a procedural part, let's say that you like there's a no gain, you take it on the 2. Well, there's a chance you still get points out of it because there's a minute and a half left, and you can force a safety or force another punt, and get Mims another shot at it. Now with the pick, gets him on the 20, and it's a situational football at its. This is what killed us against LA last year. If you're giving another bite at the apple, those are good things for an offense to have. We didn't do that. And long story short, those are the decisions that Bo Nix is making right now that are like concern. You didn't see him make last year. You saw him make the right choice, and now you're seeing him make some of those bad choices. So that's where I'm at. But for the most part, he played really well.
I like that, Adam, but I also, because I have to get my dig in, you know how I am. I'm also super annoyed with Sean on the play call. Okay?
Yes,
you
5 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry, guys. It's
thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
Were any of those runs? I don't think any of the ones up close were runs. I am sorry. Bo, yes, it was a terrible move, but here's the thing, okay? In the NFL, there are as many fast guys on the field as there are, like, it's not college, right? You can't be the fastest guy. You can't be the most mobile guy. You're going to do a boot leg play, play action boot, when you need 1 stinking yard, guys. I don't even care, man. Friggin' push that, all right? The Eagles have shown that you can get 1 yard, all right? So that was not like that was the first thing that got to me. I think I was upset about the interception, of course. The guy actually was a really good pick, by the way. I don't know if he trapped that.
That was a good play. That was a really good pick,
right? Like that ball's probably dropped
for a linebacker.
For a linebacker, okay, and a rookie. So I'm gonna say that. But other than that, to kind of go back what you said, Kev, Dan, and giving Bo his flowers. Okay, Bo might be one of the best quarterbacks like on the move. He reminds me at times, when Aaron Rodgers back in the day, when his feet aren't on the ground and he's throwing darts. Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome. I just wish he would set his feet a little more, to throw some of these, drop passes into those guys. That's probably my biggest beef with Bo when it comes to the game. He gets a little happy about it. He does a couple of those off the feet or off the cuff, sidearms, and he thinks he can do all of that. No, man, just if you got the time, set the feet, you'll be good. And that's going to help with what Adam said earlier, right? He's going to make better decisions when he's doing that. But again, play calling has an effect on those kind of things.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I think we were all saying that when we saw, why are we not running on 4th and 1? I look up and it has the rushing stats right there. Yeah, I was like, I think it was around 5 at the time, maybe a little less than 5.
Yeah.
But we're like, there's no way you can't get 1 yard right there with you bring the fullback out there, you line up heavy, and you just go. That's the time to run up the middle, not 1st and 20. Yeah.
I mean, how efficient has Marvin Mims been running the ball in those situations?
Yeah.
And
JK, I mean, the guy ran for 5.7 yards a carry in this game.
Your bowling ball running back that you brought in specifically in these situations in which we have not been good, and you go right back to the things that we haven't been good.
Even Prentice, I think we gave him the ball on a 3rd and short.
I want to,
ran for 3 or 4 yards too. Come on, like the options that you have besides the play action rollout, the plays taken forever. They're going to roll people upfield to stop Bo from running the football.
Yeah. Yep. Question here. I didn't really notice this. Maybe you guys have. So good question here from Brad from Australia. Hope the weather's doing well for you down there, man. Did we notice that Bo retreats before he throws? Is that to give himself more space? You really trust his arm. Do you see anything like that?
I mean, I understand what he's saying. When Bo feels a little pressured, his inkling is to run back so he could try to run around the tackles. And it's not about giving him more space to throw. It's 100% about that college part of Bo, who knows that he can retreat outside of the pass rush and then potentially run upfield. Now teams are kind of queuing in a little bit on Bo and his running, so I think that's another reason we're not seeing it as much. And then he decides to just gun it downfield if he can. So no.
I think when you're seeing problems with guys retreating, it's when they're not looking downfield, or they're kind of like they've lost the play essentially, or they don't have a good mechanics in their top half. You're not really seeing that with Bo. I get what I see is the decision making a little bit, but to like what Spotty was saying earlier, he has the utmost confidence in his arm, because in one of the drops that Franklin had, he's over there stretching the play out, just kind of pumping guys in his face, and then manages to sidearm it around the guy's outstretched arms. That's a special throw that special guys make, and it would have been even more special if Franklin hauls it in. So that's probably why he makes those decisions every once in a while that doesn't pan out, is because he has the utmost confidence in his arm. And guys who have really strong arms, that's just what happens. Sometimes it's just what happens.
Look, if you gave me a choice between a guy who had maybe a little too much confidence in his arm and a guy who didn't have enough confidence in his arm, I'd take the guy who had plenty of confidence in his arm.
Yeah,
I think because
clingers, we'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Bo's shown that when the time comes, when those calls are played, he's not afraid to throw it down there and take that chance. And now it's just up to just catch the ball. Just you're gonna get hit. You might as well hold on to it. Don't worry about anything else. Just bring that sucker in and hold it close. Now to move on from Bo Nix here, and guys, normally we have a full hour of a post-game show we do on Monday nights, but obviously with last night being Monday night and Monday Night Football, we didn't do that. So we're kind of condensing it all here into the first half, try to cover all the different points. So we will be transitioning over to week 5 officially at the bottom of the hour as we start talking about the Eagles. But a couple other points here. Guys, I got to be honest with you, and Angelo's on to a good point here. I am down on our tight ends, especially Evan Ingram. I am down on Evan Ingram. What have we seen from him? And you got to ask yourself, who's the joker on the team? Because it does not look like Evan Ingram is emerging in any capacity as the joker. Now, obviously, he was injured. He was out for a week, right? There's only been 4 games, so we've only seen him in 3. But what are you guys seeing from him so far? And do you have any thoughts about what lack of what we've been seeing from him?
I love your analysis, Spotty. That
usually sometimes the face is just all you need to say. Like that gets the point across.
My analysis is, who is Evan Ingram? Okay.
Yeah.
I know throw that ball earlier, but how the frick did he not get the other foot in bounds, man? Like he had the widest second step. Like, how did I
kept going?
Honestly, all of them could go, if you ask me, the way it is right now. And I get it though. It's not like our offense is super humming right now. It's not like when people are watching the Broncos, they're like, okay, if we stop this, we can allow this. This is the first game the Broncos even show that they can run the football. Okay.
Yeah.
And granted, I just realized that J.K. Dobbins is 3rd in the NFL for rushing yards.
Oh,
boom! Who would? I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
First for 100 yards, he's 3rd in the NFL for rushing yards. Okay, that's surprising to me. I didn't even know that. But maybe what we saw on Sunday kind of starts to trend, and that'll open up other things. But 100%, the talk with Evan Ingram being a joker was overstated. And right now, for me, it's R.J. Harvey or Marvin Mims. Most likely Marvin Mims.
I mean, the comment section, myself, I think we're all kind of in agreement that the joker right now really is Marvin Mims or J.K. Dobbins, or not J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey, holy that dude has some hands, because
yes, he does.
The swing pass that he took for that little kind of like 12, 15-yard gain, it was away from his body on a fastball, and he plucked it out of the air, made a guy miss, which was chef's kiss, and then to absorb some contact and carried another guy for another yard. I think that is exactly what you have RJ Harvey there for these little quick explosive plays. Obviously, you know what? Maybe Marvin Mims just isn't an outside receiver. Maybe he is just kind of a gadget. Put him in a athletic position. Go be fast and go do that. And what in those situations, it's kind of seemed like when you're asking him to run a route tree, doesn't do all that well. When you're asking him just to be fast, seems like that. And the offense, when there's more weapons at the disposal, obviously that makes everybody better. So I mean, I would say, Jeremy, Michael, Spotty, yeah, it's right now. As far as Evan Ingram goes, I want to say it's just like maybe it's an acclimation thing. They just haven't gotten. They haven't found maybe a scenario, a package, something. I want to say that calf injury that he had. I think he's probably maybe a little bit more dinged up than we're thinking. If he's out there playing, though, you got to produce. Yeah. And as an Evan Ingram fantasy football owner, yeah, I would really like you to produce there, Ev. I'd really appreciate it.
Don't even get me started. I have Derrick Henry, and I had Malik Neighbors. So don't even get me started. Spotty, yeah, that's how I feel inside. Yeah. Question here from Cindy. Do you guys think Sean is holding Bo back on his plays? I think Bo can do more. I think if there's an issue here, it's that Bo is trying to learn the full Sean Payton offense. And Spotty, I know you just are in love with everything Sean Payton does, but what do you guys think?
Sean Payton's a genius, guys. I don't have anything else to say about it besides that. No, like, in all honesty, I feel like it's a lot of stuff, right? Like, there's still there. If we look at it, there were still 2 timeouts in this game for almost no reason besides the fact that the play call was coming down. That happens too often for the Broncos. Okay, we're going to get it. We're going to get to a point where those are precious to the game. Those are things that we're going to need to win. We can't be burning timeouts for play call coming in and people coming in too. Okay, so Sean has said that he's working on that. I also believe that Bo wants more time at the line of scrimmage to do things, and that's leading to us just not being able to get it done. So we cleared that up. I think it was the second quarter and the fourth quarter. We were fine on that, but it was first and the third, whatever reason, whenever we just come right out, we're having issues.
Yeah.
I kind of am inclined to go with that. I don't think it's Sean holding Bo like by the bit. I think it's Sean throwing too much at Bo, if anything. I think it's a reasonable expectation that everybody thought the offense would look more like the last 5 games last year, of just running the ball maybe 20 times, getting 80 to 90, 100 yards a game, maybe right there, and then having Bo kind of control everything at the line and have the kind of game that he had last night. I think that's ideally what they want the offense to look like. It's just, it seems like they're just throwing so much at him, and it's almost like that's like the disconnect. But even Clayton making the point, when we're running the ball, it doesn't seem like Bo's doing like overthinking anything, or there's too much information coming in. It kind of looks like everything gets simplified at this point. So, but then we're throwing the ball on 4th and 2, or we come out of that timeout on the first drive of the game, and we come back to some derpy, weird call. And when you talk about play calling, I think it's very easy to point to. There's plenty of examples to point from of why are we doing that.
Yeah. Well, just like Cindy said here, do you think Sean is holding back the place? Thankfully, we have Sean here to answer her directly. And Cindy, Sean says he will answer you. You know, he would never, Sean would never hold Bo back. He's a great young player advancing faster than anticipated. So, Cindy, thank you for the question to Sean. You didn't think that you were going to get Sean to answer you on the podcast. And maybe you meant a different Sean, but either way.
Friend of the show, Sean.
2 shout outs, obviously, for the Broncos. First off, you got to mention Mitch Fabroni, another perfect, flawless game from him. So shout out to him. And I think it's a new tradition here, guys. When 63 reports eligible,
I think just gotta
cheer. You just got to cheer. And they asked him about it after the game. And he said, you know, as an offensive lineman, you don't want attention. So he feels a little weird that he's getting the attention, but he recognizes that every time 63 reports eligible, fans go crazy for 63. So, yeah, I don't know. New tradition, guys?
Dude, those are the most organic fun traditions that like have a story behind it and it means something, and I love it. I effing love it. Because at first, like my first time kind of hearing it, I'm like, why are we all cheering for you?
It started in game 1. It started in game 1 against the Titans, and people just started doing it. I'm not one to go buy player jerseys. I might get a 63.
Ooh,
I might.
Oh,
he's got a Trevor Siemian jersey. What do you mean you're not known to buy player jerseys?
Since then, okay, the Trevor Siemian situation is what it like changed me. Okay, that was like the last one. Oh no, and I'll admit it. Like it's still hanging up. I've worn it once, and I was very sad that I bought it. But after that, I refused to get any player jersey. And then Wilson came along.
In all fairness, a lot of people were duped with that one. A lot of people got
I was early on it was bad. But anyway, so
Gary just brought up the other person I want to talk about. The most consistent player throughout every single week. Crawdaddy.
Daddy.
Consistent.
Yeah.
What? Remember, we were worried about that. We're like,
right?
I mean, like when you're not talking about a guy is probably the best time for a player, especially a freaking punter. But hey, he's been booming punts out there, no problem.
He has been. There was one that didn't have much hang time, but his other ones, it still had distance. There just wasn't much hang time to it.
Yeah,
but otherwise.
I'll take it. So, I mean, we've had
averaging
last 6 years.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And so to average 50 yards per punt, and to think that he's still learning, right? And he could continue to grow and fine tune his craft. This is something that could turn into a really good experiment for the Broncos. So, hey guys, we're about halftime here on the show, and make sure we have some time for some Eagles talk. So let's just do a quick couple thoughts from you guys on takeaways from the game. Spotty, start with you, bud.
I always love a victory. And I know, a lot of Broncos fans are going to talk about something that's been hurting us a lot, and that's the penalties. I would even say the penalties in this particular game were even off. The particular refereeing group that was on the field is number 1 in the NFL for penalties. They average 20 called penalties a game, which makes the NFL excruciating. Like, it's bad. Like, I can't watch the NFL when there's so much laundry on the field. But besides that, I think we reined it. I would even say we reined it in more than we have in the last couple of games. So to see the improvement in that, because between the Chargers games and the Colts game, penalties was something that really shot us in the foot, and we didn't give ourselves that opportunity this time. So we came in, we dominated from the first snap, we dominated the last snap. Nothing better than seeing victory formation when you're up 25 points. I hope that whatever flow that we established during this game is what we carry into next week.
No, Adam.
Always happy with a win. I don't ever think there's a thing as a bad win. That's nah. But I feel like this was a get right game. The first game of the year felt like kind of like the extended preseason game where you're still kind of figuring stuff out. And then these past 2 games, I mean, have been very, very tough. You got the what we thought was kind of a pushover team in the Colts, who actually may be a playoff team now on the road.
They're going to win the AFC South.
And was a dogfight, which we should have won. And I can say you can take confidence in that. Last week, same dealio. If a couple bounces here and there, and we're right there again. So I think they kind of needed this one to kind of get that confidence, get that swagger back a little bit. You saw the defense show a lot more energy. You saw the offense having some fun and talking to each other a little bit. So it didn't, again, we've been talking about vibes. The whole vibe on both sides of the ball, coaching, everything felt very good last night. So I think this is very good to have some momentum and have some good energy going into next week in what will be a tough game.
Yeah. And before we talk about that, guys, it's good to see them win. And it goes back to, for the most part, they did everything that they're supposed to do, right? It wasn't necessarily super flashy. We didn't win by 50 points. But we held them, defense did everything that you could ask from. Bo Nix showed, that he was calm, steady, able to make the throws in any kind of situation, under pressure, not under pressure, all that stuff. So it's definitely a step in the right direction that they need to continue to build off of if they want to have a chance to beat, say, the next team on our schedule, which is a prelude to what we'll be talking about next. But first, it is halftime here at Bourbon Broncos No BS, and we are going to get through our several announcements to let you guys know about everything we got going on. So first, this show, Bourbon Broncos No BS, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure you guys are tuning in across any of the different platforms to share your thoughts, post your questions, all that different stuff, and have some good Broncos talk with us. The pregame podcast comes up later in the week. You can check that on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast. Just search us up on Bourbon Broncos No BS there, and make sure you tune that in. Spotty and David do a great job breaking down all the different X's and O's to get you prepped for what to look for in the upcoming game. Game day, we are busy here. We got our pregame show, the Tailgate Talk, live 1 hour before kickoff, breaking down all the last-minute information to include the inactives list and all this other stuff. This last week, I tried it where I was able to stream from the game, so pretty cool stuff. And to the one guy that ran up to me while I was live saying, I recognize you, I see your stuff.
Oh,
dude, congratulate, man. That was fantastic. You're like the
awesome.
First person ever to do that. So maybe you'll see this later some other time, but that was fantastic. I'm glad we were able to get you on the video there. For
look at Kev's head just growing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I said.
And I'm like, oh, you recognize me.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird. I got home and I had trouble walking through the door. I had to put my head sideways.
I got
to kind of get it through.
The voice was a little deeper. He's like,
it was. It really was.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Damn Elliott over here now.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. So, look, you never know what's going to happen on these shows. But 1 hour before kickoff, good stuff there. Make sure you guys tune in for all that stuff. Halftime show or halftime hash for live for every Broncos halftime game, breaking down all the first half action, getting your quick reactions, instant reactions, and what the Broncos need to do to win in the second half as well. So tons of stuff there, guys. And then next Monday night returning is the post-game podcast at 8 p.m. Mountain Time to break down a full hour's worth of conversation on the previous day's game or whatever. So make sure you tune in on Mondays at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Also, make sure you go to our website, broncosandbourbon.com. Sign up for free this year. Anybody who signs up in the 2025-26 season will be automatically upgraded to the next level membership tier once we introduce those later next year. So this is the time to get in for free. And again, congrats to Angelo Q for being our lifetime free top tier membership winner. He has the MVP badge on his little avatar there. And he'll be the only one to ever have that. So pretty unique little thing there from him. And he will never have to spend a dime on the website. But guys, head on over there if you want to see all of our latest content. One-stop shop for all our YouTube videos, all of our shows, podcasts. There's articles. There's a place for you to interact with other fans, share your pictures from game days, talk during the games with the game day chat, all that cool stuff, guys. So make sure you head on over there. Okay. And then lastly here, Sean asks, who sewed the patches on my jersey? Some very nice lady at seamstress place. right down the street. Yeah, she was very nice. It wasn't me because I don't know how to.
Yeah,
taxes would just be crooked.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I would pay good money to see that.
You don't. My fingers would be bleeding everywhere from poking myself, and it'd just be bad. So, yes. And Angelo is the alpha dog for sure. Officially now, tidally. But look, guys, it is past halftime here, and that means officially, ding, 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 it is week 5. Enough about the Bengals. It is time to move on to the Eagles, where the Broncos just played probably one of the worst teams in football right now and are moving on to the reigning Super Bowl champion. So, Adam, we're going to start with you this time, man. Here we go. We're heading into this game. Obviously feeling much better in a lot of regards about where the Broncos are, but they're a tough team. And Philly is no joke. So what do you think, buddy?
I think if this is going to be just an indictment of our run defense and they are to the task, then we have a good chance of winning this game. If you're going to tell me that Jalen Hurts is going to beat our secondary through the air, that is very, very funny. However, if there is the giant equalizer in the equation, it is Saquon Barkley. If there is a place where we are vulnerable right now, and we have already talked about it, then Philadelphia has the exact wrong person for the play with the place where we're vulnerable right now. So this is going to be a big defensive line game. If they can win the battle up front, I think we got a good shot. And I think our offense is playing well enough to win this game on the road, especially if we emphasize the run. If we run the ball well, that takes an opposing crowd out of the game. That negates that home field advantage. That puts us in a good chance to win this game.
I like it. Spotty, man. Here we are. What do you think?
Kind of got a question even for it, because now looking at the schedule for the Broncos and the way the rest of the year is going to go, are the Eagles the best team that's on the schedule for the year?
I mean, we're looking at it right now.
Yeah, I'm just looking. If you look at our schedule,
you got tough teams. You got the Chiefs on the road. You got the Packers. You got the Commanders that could be good. Texans don't look any good this year. Cowboys, you never know, but okay, like they could be a tough team. But looking at this now that I think about it, this could be like the pinnacle tough game for us. I never thought about it that way.
So with that being said, I think this is the litmus test for the Broncos. I believe, we come into the year, we want to tell everybody, hey, we are a playoff team. We are a contender to make, to win 10, 11 games. Well, how are you going to come out and play against the Philadelphia Eagles, who, I mean, in honesty, there's only 2 undefeated teams in the league right now, and that's the Buffalo Bills and the Eagles. You make the argument that I think if those 2 teams were to play each other today, I think I'd choose the Eagles to win in that game. So this is our toughest matchup, and I think if we need it all to come together, everything that the Broncos, it can't be, hey, the special teams came to play and the defense came to play and the offense didn't. No, this is one of those games where the front 7 has to play strong on both sides of the ball. They've got 2 of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. Normally, we'll get into those 2 guys, and they probably have the best running back in the league. I mean, you can make arguments about everybody, but when it just comes to pure power, speed, finesse, and everything else, it's definitely Saquon Barkley. So the Broncos need all phases of their team to be playing well for us to win. And if I know it's going to sound like blasphemy to say this, but even if we're close in this game and we lose a close game, I think that we can say that we're ready. But if we come out and they blow us out, then we got to work on a lot of things.
Yeah. No, there's no such thing as moral victories, but you can point to some and say, like, look, we hung with those guys on the road in their stadium, and that gives you hope that you should be able to hang with anybody else and be able to make some noise in playoffs if you're all on the same page and everything's going well. But you're exactly right. You have to be on the same page. You have to bring your A game. You cannot have stupid penalties. You cannot put yourself into a 1st and 25 position, right? You could do that against the Bills and get away with it. Didn't we do that twice yesterday, or was that just once?
I know we did.
I know there was.
I want to say that. I want to say there's a 1st and 25 and a 1st and 20.
Okay, so maybe I'm thinking, but so 1st and 25. I mean, you definitely cannot be doing that. 1st and 20 for most teams. I think the Broncos. It's not so much anymore. Look, 6-7 years ago, we all know when we saw 1st and 20 on that screen, what did we think? Here comes the punt. Just punt. We know that's what's going to happen. And now you see 1st and 20, you're like, hey, there's at least a good shot that we overcome this. 1st and 25 against a team like the Eagles on the road, you don't stand a chance. 1st and 20 against the Eagles on the road, you probably still really don't stand much of a chance. So you cannot be allowing yourself to get those dumb penalties. So look, maybe 3 bad weeks in a row of us getting penalties. This last crew just calls a lot of penalties. I don't know, but they've got to be very cognizant of that. And hopefully the point that just gets driven home is you have to be disciplined. You have to monitor what you say, what you do. Do not be the reason that now this, 20-yard run that we just got gets pulled all the way back because of some stupid thing that you did or said, right? So look, is this a game where I'm sitting here saying, yeah, there's no way we don't lose? No, of course not. We have a very good chance of not being able to pull this one off. But at the same time, us going up there and making them work for it is definitely and then look, if it comes down to the last drive, I don't think Will Lutz is going to miss again. You put him within 50, I think he wins a game-winning field goal. So it could come down to one of those situations where our defense, who has shown that they can hang with teams, with just about every single team, I don't expect them to be any different against the Eagles. So it's up to the offense then to do their job as well.
You know what? I think Gary actually brings up a really good point. For a team that we think is so big and scary, I mean, they've had some. I mean, they were a blocked field goal away from taking an L. So
yeah,
they have their own consistency issues as well. If
they've closed those games. They've had close games, but they closed them.
That is true. That is a good point. What I'm saying is that this is going to be a tough game. And this is one of those where we can't have a break here and there. Like if we would have had that break here, I mean, we still may lose the game even if we do play a complete game. That's how tough this game is coming up.
Yep. Really quickly, because I totally forgot, Roy, I saw your comment earlier and I meant to bring it up and then I moved on in my head immediately. I apologize. Roy, it is his birthday today, so happy freaking birthday. You do not want me to sing for you. Maybe Spotty can't. Spotty just seems like he has that better, deeper singing voice than I do. Me, it's just lots of cracking and like I'm flat, but I'm also sharp at the same time. I'm just never on the right note. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to do that. But Roy, happy freaking birthday, man. Glad the Broncos were able to get you a birthday win. I like this from Sean. The to-do list. Stop the run, stop the pass, limit the tush-push opportunities, establish a run game, capitalize and play action, and limit amount of penalties. That is a very long to-do list, but I think he kind of hits the nail on the head on all of it.
That's
look, if you stop the run, you have the back end, you have the secondary to stop the pass. You don't allow them to get in those 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 situations to do the tush push. You kind of shut down what the Eagles are known for. So I don't know, man. Like it seems like a lot to do, but it makes sense, especially in that order.
David got me excited yesterday because he told me Malcolm Roach can become off IR as October 5th.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Which means it's potential that Malcolm Roach is going to be playing for the Broncos.
And we could use him.
Oh boy, we could use him right now. Now, mind you, the defensive line has been did a good job against the Bengals, which they really needed to. But we can't give Saquon and what we gave to Omarion Hampton and what we gave to Jonathan Taylor. But having another run stopper in the middle is going to help us out. Again, we didn't do it as much in this game that I thought we were going to do it. I could see 𝐁𝐫𝐿 again playing close to the line of scrimmage. But honestly, the Eagles, I'm just looking through all the different stats for them. If you thought where their rushing offense was ranked this year, where do you think their rushing offense is?
Top 10?
Yeah, I would say top 5.
I think they're out of the top 10.
Really?
The Broncos
that would surprise me.
Game than they do.
Wow. Okay.
So
interesting.
They're not unbeatable, right? Like that is a testament that, like, I'm not throwing the numbers out saying that they can't change, right? They're probably going to end the year around there, especially with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. But it is a testament to say that they can be beaten. Their bread and butter can be stopped.
Yeah. Okay. I remain encouraged now. My spirit is buoyed.
I mean, yeah, because I haven't looked into the Eagles in terms of their stats or rankings or anything, but I would just assume going into this, you got something like Saquon Barkley, you've got to be in the top 10 at least. So to be even near that place where even if they are 10, 11 or whatever, like that's weird. And then you tell me the Broncos have better rushing numbers than them.
This last game.
Okay. I don't care. Hey, look, the season's going on. We're improving, right? Like that's something to put your hat on. And we finally have that tiger off, that bear off our back, whatever you want to call it. We have 100-yard rusher. And I can't believe we haven't really said that yet. Okay, J.K. Dobbins, 100-yard rusher. And so I did hear some people talking about like, why aren't we utilizing J.K. Dobbins or R.J. Harvey a little bit more? It's like actually they're utilizing him pretty evenly. RJ's a little bit more obviously involved in the pass game, but the fact that J.K. Dobbins is putting up these numbers, and finally, I don't care if it's 100 yards, 101 yards, we broke it, okay? And we don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's got to be feeling good for him as well. But if they continue to find that confidence that they can run the ball, right, I think it's just going to help out immensely as the season progresses, and it hopefully will shine in this game as well. Because what other? Yeah,
for me, you have guys like Garrett Bowles, Quinn Miners, McGlinchey. You have road graders on your offensive line. Why? I don't know why we don't emphasize it more. But I mean, you saw it yesterday. But now you have kind of that puzzle piece in RJ Harvey a little bit that maybe kind of gives another Marvin Mims type of player back there to run a lot of stuff that maybe Bo used to do in college. I don't know. Maybe RJ Harvey is the key to kind of maybe getting this offense unlocked a little bit, because he is a better receiving option than Dobbins. So maybe the way they facilitated him yesterday was kind of the way that they need to do going forward, and that's going to be kind of the thing that greases the offense a little bit.
Yeah. Gary, what do you think? Yeah, from Gary, Mr. Vic Fangio.
I really like this comment, and I like it because it brings me kind of on my next point, right? We're going to have a game that Sean Payton and Nick Sirianni and Vance Joseph and Vic Fangio competing against one another, okay? Like, Sirianni is seen as probably one of the young up-and-coming offensive-minded coaches, with Vic Fangio, of course, the exact opposite, not up-and-coming, old, other on out there, okay, versus an established defensive coordinator and an offensive mind, right? This actually is probably where the game's going to be won, okay? Who is going to outcoach who? And that Sirianni has outcoached everybody by establishing the tush push, even as a play that they can run as successfully as they are. So I think at this point, Sean, my only ask for you, don't get outcoached by Sirianni. Yeah. Okay? Don't get outcoached. Don't get ahead of yourself, okay?
That's a concern.
It's not that crazy. Like Baker Mayfield, I'm not saying Bo's Baker Mayfield, because Baker may be one of the best quarterbacks in the league that no one's talking about. But Bo has the gunslinger dog in him that Baker Mayfield has, right? He has the capability of having that potential growth. And Bo ends up like Baker Mayfield, his team's winning playoff games for a very, very long time. I'll say that, right? So this is the time, Sean. Don't get out-coached by Sirianni. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't do some crazy plays that no one asked for, right? If the simplest way to win is to put the ball in your quarterback's hand and run.
Yeah.
Yep. But you're saying this, and I'm sitting here saying that makes sense. That should be like a pretty simple concept. But the other part of me saying is that maybe I should be worried about that happening, right? He seems to overthink things.
If it happens.
Yep. I'll just keep that in mind and just be like, just Spotty, don't say it. Spotty, don't say it. Maybe we'll give you next week off. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I'm just saying, look, a lot of people you're going to hear this week just automatically assuming that the Eagles are going to win, and maybe that's the case. But for me sitting here, like it seems like this could be a game that's really close. That if it comes down to that last drive, and you put the ball in Bo's hands, man, we could make something happen here, and make some heads turn around the league. So
I think it has the vibe of being that kind of game of coming down to the last drive type of game.
Yep.
I really do.
It's a trap game for the Eagles. It's not a trap game for us. It's a trap game for the Eagles.
1,000%. So, Spotty, I'm looking forward to hearing what you and David talk about on the pregame podcast. I'm sure it's going to be a good one. So, for everybody out there, make sure you're following us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast, so that you can hear what these guys have to say about the upcoming game. Okay, we're going to do some closing thoughts here in just a few minutes. But first off, don't forget, guys, other than the post-game podcast later this week, Game Day will be live 1 hour before kickoff and live at halftime as well. And then we'll be doing the post-game podcast next week, Monday night at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. This show is always live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Has been for going on to 10 years now. So here's to another 10 that we'll be doing Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure you check out all of our other content on YouTube, all the shorts that I post and everything like that. Head on over to the website, broncosandbourbon.com, for all the other content we have for you guys, as that website is getting built out slowly, very slowly but surely. Probably no new major upgrades until the off season, just because it's a lot. But seriously, guys, yeah, it's a lot. So look, we got the Eagles this week, and then, not to look too far ahead, but then we got London. And if you guys don't think I'm going to be live an hour before the London game, you're wrong, because we will still be live at like 6:15 in the morning.
For real.
The wife will be asleep. Yeah. So.
Oh, 100%. And I don't expect you guys to be here either. It might just be me, and that's fine. That's fine. We'll be doing it one way or the other. We'll be live. So it's going to be great, guys.
You're right.
Season is just starting off. We're 4 weeks in, about a quarter of the way through, guys, and here we are sitting 2-2, same as last year. And now that, Spotty, you put in that perspective of this could be the most difficult team we face for the rest of the year. Okay, here we go. Let's see what they can do. But let's get your closing thoughts. And Adam, let's start with you, buddy. What do you think?
I mean, I think this is going to be one of the kind of pivotal moments of the season, a little bit, especially if this is going to be what Sean Payton has kind of said. If he really believes that this is one of his favorite teams, it's time to kind of put your money where your mouth is now. And it's time to see if we're worthy of that designation or not. If this game was in Denver, I would honestly give us the edge because this is hostile territory. Philadelphia is a notorious hard place to play. Denver, it was mentioned in the comments, Denver traditionally doesn't play very well for those early games on the East Coast. So it has all the makings of everything should be working against Denver, but something tells me that it's not, and that this game is going to go a little bit different than what most, even Vegas is counting us only as a 3-point dog right now. So I think that shows that Vegas doesn't like losing money, and they're not in the business of losing money. So if they have us close, I'd say it's going to be a close game too.
I like it. Spotty, what do you got, bud?
3-point dog is even. Like, they always give a 3-point.
That's a home point advantage. Yeah,
pretty much.
That's a crazy idea, right? So I've said a lot. I said, I've kind of said my piece when it comes to Sean and our play calling and how things are going to go for this particular game. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, we needed to play the game that we did against Cincinnati. I do believe that we got a little bit of our groove back. I think one of the best things that Bo could have done was throw an interception and then step right back onto the field and take us down and score a touchdown, right? That tells me that man is fearless at the same time, because he gets just shut down and not done anything with it. We could have gone into the half still with a lead. So we needed that. I think Bo needs it. I think Sean needed it. We just need to see more of those points. And I think that this game against the Eagles is going to be a dog fight. Okay. They have physical guys up front. We have physical guys up front. Okay. They've got blocking wide receivers. We've got blocking wide receivers. Okay. It's going to be a fist fight. And I really hope that after those tough losses against not only the Chargers, but the Colts, but the Broncos now know what they need to do to get the W when the clock reaches 0.
Yeah. I think they're already sitting here at 2-2, 4 weeks into the season, saying we should be 3-1, if not 4-0 right now. The fact we lost those games makes us feel sick, right? The fact that we were that close, that we've shown that we can do it, but we just shot ourselves in our own foot so many times that we put ourselves in those situations. We cannot allow that to happen. And so I think you have a little bit of an extra drive there. They know that they have to go out there and they have to perform way better than they did in LA and way better than they did in Indianapolis to go out there and have a chance against these guys. And I think they're mentally prepped for that. So it's almost good that this was, a Monday night game against I won't say easier opponent. They're still an NFL team. They're an easier opponent. We're able to switch immediately into, okay, celebrate for the next half hour. And then we're back to work. Right. It's on to the next thing. So there's no waiting. There's no sitting on this. It's time to refocus. So look, they just got to play their A game. It can't be taking stupid penalties. You can't be overthinking things. Sean Payton, cough, Comic-Con, but look, as long as we got Mitch Fabroni and Alex Palczewski out there, I think we're going to be okay. So we'll see what happens. But guys, you are fantastic. Don't forget about all of our other content coming out later this week and on game day and everything. It's going to be great talking about this one and seeing what the Broncos are able to do. Just saying, every time you see somebody say the Broncos don't stand a chance, just say, maybe we do. Maybe we do. So, Spotty, Adam, guys, thank you very much for everything. Adam, everybody go check out Adam on Eye on the Ball 37 on YouTube. Make sure you're giving him a follow.
Yeah.
But seriously, appreciate all you guys in the comments section tuning in as always. And Spotty and Adam, thank you very much for joining me as usual tonight, guys. You're fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
I got you. I got to build up your egos too. My ego inflated yesterday, so I got to help you guys out too.
Nice.
My head looks smaller when I'm next to other big-headed people. Anyway, I don't know. Look, this is the part. This is why I say I'm going to end the show like I always do because I have nothing left to say on a very strong Go Broncos.
Broncos.
Go Broncos. Let's
Take
go.
care, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sip and go, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.